What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
And today on The Great Debaters, we're talking about Too Short, Life is Too Short. The album's so good I had to bring two, and so did Amir. Get ready, y'all. The Great Debaters. Alright, Amir. Anyone that watches Unique Access or watches Rappin' and Snackin', or talks to us for that matter, they know we love Too Short. So, you know, he's, in my opinion, one of the best rappers of all time. He's a phenomenal artist and remains great till this day. But Amir and I hadn't really talked about Life is Too Short in its own video yet, so we decided that's what's going to be going down. So we're picking our top 3 songs off of this phenomenal album, and of course there are a couple different versions on this album too. Too Short's early material in particular, there's all these versions and stuff. So we're just gonna go with the main versions of the album, which is the one that has 9 tracks that came out on Jive, etc., etc. So that being said, Amir, when you first heard this album, what did you think and why?
Yeah, man, Too Short. Life is Too Short being the first song that I heard from it, also the name of the album. And that is just gonna get right into it, one of my picks. Fantastic, just great stuff. Also, track 1, and like Soren has said in many of our videos, and like we've also, you know, elaborated on certain track lists and also on the tapes when you have, you know, side A and side B. Sometimes one side is clean, sometimes another is dirty, or one side will have a certain theme, another will have a different theme. And in this case, Life is Too Short being track 1 on side 1, it's, you know, it's actually a very positive song. Like he has lines where he says, where he's talking about, are you gonna do drugs or make music, or what are you gonna do? Like, people like you, they want money, so which way are you gonna take? And he brushes up on like suicide, saying it's a horrible thing, and just ways to make your life positive. And just the beat to me, the instrumental to me is, for some reason when I think of Oakland, I think of this beat.
It's an amazing beat.
It's amazing. It's great. And for some reason, like I said, when it comes to like Oakland hip hop, this is just one of those beats that really stands out to me. It's nothing too flashy by any means, but it's so great. And I think on Life is Too Short, Too Short is really like, and this is one of the probably shorter songs on the album, and it's still 4 minutes and some change.
Right.
Maybe even 5 minutes,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's close to 5, I think.
But Too Short is really like being such a positive figure, and I also like how he made it, you know, the main single on his album as well, and the title of the album. And if you really listen to what he's saying, you'll start to realize that people just putting him in the box of just like a sexual rapper and all these things is a little idiotic. Especially, this is just one of the songs that he gets personal and uplifting, and just has like a great message aside from the other fun songs that he has on this album. Future albums, I think Too Short, anyone who puts him in that stereotype really needs to listen to not only this album, but that song in particular. And it's just so great.
I agree. And I think on the production side of things, the great thing that we see that really starts kicking off in this moving forward of Too Short's career is getting that live bass guitar in there. Yes. The live instrumentation really, I think, on this project takes a step up and starts making Short, the sound of Too Short, what it would be known for this era, really before he gets with Little John much later in his career and different things. But for the next, you know, 10 years, give or take, this era of Short, man, it's just amazing. And like Amir said, this is not super complex musicianship by any means, but it is musicianship, and it is great. And to hear these sonics, it really brings a different element, because it wasn't based off a sample. It was this live instrumentation. It added depth and warmth and a feel to the music, and you get that right off the gate with the title track, and it has scratching. It's just phenomenal. And, you know, to Amir's point too, I really enjoy the fact that here's a rapper that in 1988, when this album came out, he was very positive. He was saying, like, you know, your life's your main asset. You know, you've got to make yourself the real McCoy. It's very inspirational things that he's saying. It's very positive, and it's very uplifting if you take it as such, and if you really adhere to what he's saying. And that, to me, is one of the great things about a lot of Short's singles in particular. If you go back and look in this 88 to 92 window in particular, and even a little bit after, I would argue, like, he has very positive, uplifting songs, and these are the singles. These are not deep album cuts. So Life is Too Short is a prime example. Now, my other two picks basically are not any of that. So Amir, that's me though. So let's get your second pick.
I have a feeling that we may have the same two picks then.
I'm sure.
Because as I stated earlier, sometimes the cassettes in particular would have like the side. This side is in this instance program AAA, and on the flip side program XXX.
Right.
So, and I always love how artists will get into that theme and really stick to it, which in my opinion, this is another reason, a little off tangent, is so I think the 80s and the 90s in particular, I think the artists really had to kind of think outside of the box, and they were limited in certain aspects, and they knew that at one point we're going to have to flip this album over, whether on the LP or on the tape. We're going to need, you know, X amount of minutes for this and X amount of minutes for that, so we need to be very clever in our track names, in our themes, and we need the perfect bridge on the flip side. And I think that's why so many artists back then, the track order and the themes were very, very, very important. But anyways, Too Short does that very well on many of his albums. And people who were in this era in particular.
Right.
However, now going on to program XXX for my next pick, Don't Fight the Feeling, boasting a crazy length of time of like 8 minutes or something like that. You got, this is the first time I'd heard Rappin' Forte, and then he also has Danger Zone on it, female MCs. And just one thing that Too Short does so well, where he's saying, you know, do you like to fuck? Just in the beginning, and then he's like,
let me ask you a question.
You don't like to be talked to like that? Well, do you like to make love? And it's just like, he's very blunt, and then he's like, I understand most people don't like being talked like that, so let me just say it in a language that you will reply to. And he's just going on and talking about the things he would do and other stuff and paint scenarios. Then you get the female perspective saying, well, you ain't even all that. Your breath is gross. This is that. And then they're saying other things. And then you get Rappin' Forte's perspective on it. And it's just one of those songs that, like I've said, and I know Soren also agrees and has also said in previous videos, it's a rapper, he's a rapper that for some reason he has the superpower of being able to keep you engaged in songs that are over 5 minutes on a consistent basis. And you look at the clock and it's like you wasted an hour and the album is like, it's still not over. And it's like, and you only listen to like 8 songs, right? It's just like,
it's amazing, man.
The way he's able to keep you engaged like that is just wild to me. And it's something that I don't even know how other artists have not done it as well. But Too Short, he's never too flashy. He's very simple. He raps at his own pace. Even when he gets with like other rappers who rap at a quicker pace than him, he stays true. He stays in his own way and does it well. And Don't Fight the Feeling really shows that, and it also puts spotlight on other MCs who are clearly not you know, as well known as Short, but Rappin' Forte and Danger Zone deliver very well too.
And I also thought, as far as showcasing other rappers, I always thought it was awesome that, you know, this was starting to happen or had been happening. But I thought that Don't Fight the Feeling was great in the sense that he really let the girls diss him. But their disses were like super disses, because they were dissing. He's trying to build up this whole aura of being a sexual guy, and that's what they're dissing him about. It wasn't like he had whack, not exclusively, that he had whack clothes or his appearance was bad or whatever. They were like, nah, dude, they call you Too Short because of your height or your width. Right there, I was like, what?
That's
like,
right.
They was like, oh my God, they're going in. And then, you know, growing up in Maryland, this was the first I had heard of Rappin' Forte. I had no idea who he was. So it was cool to hear that. And this is also in '88, in an era where we just were starting to get some of these guest appearances of different people on songs. So to have not only Danger Zone but Rappin' Forte on the song. I thought it was great, very surprising, and I just thought it was great, man. And then the beat's very catchy, and to your point, it just goes on and on and on. It's more than 8 minutes long, and it's just a great song, man. And the fact that it wasn't just him talking about women in the way that he did, that he had to respond to Danger Zone and they were dissing him so hard, I just thought it was hilarious.
And Rappin' Forte also named one of his albums Don't Fight the Feeling.
For good reason. It's a phenomenal song. So for our third song, Amir, I am assuming we have the same. So
well,
what you got?
I think it has to be right. Cuss words, man.
Oh my
god. We've talked about this in previous videos too. The car test.
Oh man.
When you put this tape in your car and cuss words comes on,
you can tell if you have a good stereo or not.
This is the song that has passed every single car test. You know, like in NWA Slam Dunk Contest where they put up the 10.
Okay.
This is the 10 all across the board. This one, just this instrumental, and the fact that it came out in '88 and it still sounds this fantastic over 30 years ago. Oh my God.
It's amazing.
So I used to have a show with Crazy Bone, and on the show he'd have like a playlist, and this is one of the songs that he'd sometimes play, and then we just all would go bananas, and he would always say, and this is something that I'm sure, like, especially in the 80s, this is one of the songs when he said he was in classroom, they would always, you know, pound on the table to mimic the beat, and then they would start freestyling, and it's just like, I can totally see that. This is like one of those iconic beats. And then, you know, the classic stories of this is one of those songs you can't play, you know, out on the speakers, or you have to have the headphones and make sure your parents aren't home or whatever. This is one of those songs. And the outlandish things this guy is saying on here is what is propelling him to... It's like, and I've said it before, and Soren has too, I think Corrupt is one of those rappers who it sounds like on like any given track, it's like he's freestyling. He's not even like writing this stuff down. It's kind of like he's like a free spirit, literally just rapping, right? And he can go on for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. I think on this song, it's like too short to me. It sounds like a one big, long freestyle of just like excellence. And he brings in Ronald Reagan for no reason and talks about Nancy Reagan licking him like corn on the cob, and just this song is just so good. And another like what 8 minutes or whatever it is, it's just, dude, I want to hear what you think of this one.
I mean, that's my third pick, of course, but it's the beat, just the beat. Dude. Even if this was just an instrumental, you could listen to this for 8 minutes. It's so, good. Astounding. Shout out to Project Pat for using that for Chicken Head too, with Juicy J and DJ Paul making that. Because when I heard them use it on Chicken Head, I was like, yeah, man, finally somebody giving Short some love on the beats. But I'm telling you, man, that beat, it was just so astonishing, and like, that's the type of song. Thankfully, my parents, knock on wood, have never heard this song. But if they did, this would be one of those key things that I would always say, like, the beat, just by itself, the words just add the extra dimensions to it and make it phenomenal. But I would listen to the beat, the instrumental. I would, because it's just so good. It's so good. But then you add on the lyrics. And then the fact that Short is... You know, we had Freaky Tales, and before this album, if you listen to it in order, the sequencing, he had Don't Fight the Feeling just before it. But we had Dope Fiend Beat from Short. We had Freaky Tales from Short, both parts of Freaky Tales. We had all these other Invasion of Flat Booty Bitches he had all these songs that were crazy, that were telling these stories, that were like sexually explicit and all these different things. But like cuss words, he just was like, okay, you guys like it that I cuss, or you guys like it that I'm profane, I'm gonna give it to you on the highest level. And he just went in on it and like used the words you're not supposed to say. And then like Amir was saying, bringing in Nancy Reagan randomly about having sex with her, and like it was just a astonishingly imaginative way to take what he was starting to be known for and do it at a high level and on a over-the-top level while still sounding classic Too Short, for those that I had been listening to him for years at this point, and I had at that point, you know, for a few years. So it's just crazy, man. And for a 9-song album to be so long and to have so many good songs like City of Dope, even Pimp the Hoe, you know, those on the X side, and then I Ain't Trippin' was one of those early songs I remember hearing, kind of a whispery flow, and then they made that a single. So again, you're showing your versatility as an artist. It's just, the album is great, man. Oakland paying homage, telling stories about, you know, he's just a great storyteller too. And I think that's why I'm always glad when Amir and I want to talk about these type of albums and these type of artists, because people look at Too Short in a very one-dimensional way, and he's not. He's like a phenomenal, well-rounded artist that has delivered so much game to the game, and for that we're grateful. So those are our 3 picks.
He's well-rounded, but also, look at all the credits. Who's producing a lot of these songs?
Too Short, man.
Too Short.
He also was producing back in the day, making beats. And I asked Short about that one time, and he said, you know, I don't really know why I stopped making the beats. I just did. So
that's a shame.
It really is, because these beats, phenomenal. But those are my 3 picks on Life is Too Short. Amir made his picks. Let us know what you guys think, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share Unique Access and Rappin' and Snacking, and we'll be sure to hit you back. But make sure to listen to this Too Short, man. Do yourself a favor. I'm Soren Baker.
Amir Rahimi.
The great debaters, y'all. Life is too short.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
It would be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV back with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.